Turkey's defense industry is back in the spotlight, and it's all happening at the SAHA EXPO 2026 here in Istanbul. Turkey has unveiled its most advanced long-range missile system to date, the Yildirimhan intercontinental ballistic missile. According to the National Defense Ministry R&D Center, the Yildirimhan is capable of reaching speeds of Mach 25 and has a reported range of 6,000 kilometers or approximately 3,728 miles. Aselsan unveiled one kamikaze unmanned surface vessel and the Kilic family of kamikaze underwater vehicles. Exhibitions opened its doors to visitors at the Istanbul Expo Center on Tuesday with 1,700 companies, including 263 international firms and over 30,000 industry professionals from more than 120 countries in attendance. Hundreds of companies from all over the world showing off everything from drones to next-generation defense tech.
SAHA 2026'ya 1500'ü yerli, 2063'ü yabancı olmak üzere 1763 firma katıldı. İmzalanan 182 anlaşmayla toplam 8 milyar dolarlık iş hacmine ulaşıldı. Bu rakamın 6 milyar dolarlık kısmını doğrudan ihracata dönük mutabakatlar oluşturdu. Resmin bütününe baktığımızda karşılaştığımız manzara tam olarak şudur. Türk savunma sanayi artık yalnızca bölgesinde değil, dünya ölçeğinde rağbet gören, güven veren, dikkatle izlenen ve tercih edilen bir ekosistem haline gelmiştir. Savunma, havacılık ve uzay alanında küresel düzeyde yıldızı ışıl ışıl parlayan ülkeler arasına adını gururla yazdırmıştır. Güvenlik her yönüyle bütüncül bir konsepttir. Aynı şekilde bugün bir ülkenin caydırıcılığı sahip olduğu platformların sayısıyla ölçülecek eşiği de çoktan aşmıştır. Konvansiyonel güç unsurlarının yerini çok katmanlı ve entegre sistemlerin aldığı bu yeni dönemin kurucu aktörlerinden biri hiç kuşkusuz Türkiye'dir.
Istanbul, one of the global meeting points of the defense industry, SAHA EXPO 2026 once again brings together high technology, engineering power, and strategic systems under one roof this year. This organization is not just an exhibition, a technology showcase, and engineering and a critical platform where the warfare concepts of the future are being shaped. Land, air, naval, and electronic warfare systems all are displayed here on a single stage. And now, we take a closer look at the most striking land and strategic systems of this great picture. One of the most important land platforms of the Turkish defense industry, the ALTAY Main Battle Tank. ALTAY represents much more than a conventional tank. It integrates high protection, high firepower, and digital battlefield management capabilities designed for the evolving threats of the modern battlefield. With its advanced composite armor structure, high-precision main gun system, and modern fire control technologies, it offers an outstanding balance between mobility and striking power on the battlefield. One of its most critical features is its integration capability with digital command and control systems. Thanks to this, ALTAY is not only an armored vehicle, but also a combat platform capable of collecting data from the field, analyzing it, and integrating into a network-centric warfare environment. One of the most remarkable systems at SAHA EXPO 2026, the Barkan unmanned ground vehicle. Barkan is an autonomous and semi-autonomous ground platform developed to remove human personnel from high-risk missions in modern warfare concepts. Actively used in reconnaissance, surveillance, and support operations, the system stands out with its ability to operate in challenging terrain conditions. Thanks to its advanced sensor systems and remote control infrastructure, it can transmit real-time data from the field and directly support operational decision-making processes. Barkhan is no longer just a vehicle. It is considered a digital operational asset deployed on the battlefield. One of the new generation systems showcased at the fair is the Toyota 05 tactical ground platform. Toyota 05 is designed as a multifunctional mobile ground solution that can be rapidly adapted to different mission scenarios thanks to its modular structure. It can be used in reconnaissance missions, border security operations, and logistics support roles. One of its key features is its high mobility and interchangeable mission module structure. With its low visibility design and digital control infrastructure, it offers a flexible solution for the modern battlefield. The Tufan system is one of the strategic platforms that stands out at SAHA EXPO 2026, developed with a high-impact operational capability. This system is evaluated within the concept of operational use against critical targets in the modern battlefield. In today's defense technologies, where speed, precision, and operational impact have become increasingly important, the Tufan system is positioned as one of the field-based reflections of this approach. The Kılıç system, developed by Aselsan, one of the leading companies in the Turkish defense industry, is a defense solution built on point defense and rapid response capability against modern threat environments. One of the most critical elements in today's combat environment is the reaction time against sudden and short-duration threats. The Kılıç system is designed to meet this need with high-speed target detection capability, command and control integration, and automatic engagement infrastructure. Being capable of integrating with electronic warfare and radar systems, it is considered an important part of layered defense architecture, especially for the protection of critical facilities and strategic zones. One of the other systems highlighted at SAHA EXPO 2026, Yildirimhan. This system stands out as a strategic platform evaluated within the next generation high-speed defense concepts showcased at the fair. In modern defense thinking, where speed, maneuverability, and unpredictable motion profiles are becoming increasingly important, Yildirimhan represents this new approach. The land systems and strategic platforms at EXPO 2026 clearly demonstrate the level of engineering achievement reached by Turkey's defense industry. However, this is only one part of the story. In the skies, there are air and unmanned systems that move much faster and are changing the balance of modern warfare. And now, we move to that domain. SAHA EXPO 2026 showcases land systems that form the foundation of modern warfare, while in the skies, a far more dynamic, faster, and strategically decisive domain is emerging. Unmanned aerial vehicles, long-range mission platforms, and next-generation autonomous systems all demonstrate that warfare is no longer defined only on land, but is being redefined in the airspace as well. And now, we take a closer look at the most critical platforms of this new warfare doctrine. The Bayraktar TB3, developed by Bayraktar, represents a new operational level in unmanned aerial systems. One of the most important features that distinguishes TB3 is its capability to take off and land from short runway naval platforms. This feature transforms unmanned air power from a land-based system into a capability that can also be integrated with maritime platforms. Classified as a medium-altitude, long-endurance platform, TB3 is designed for reconnaissance, surveillance, and precision mission operations. With its advanced sensor systems and digital mission software, it provides real-time data transfer and directly supports decision-making processes in the field. TB3 stands as one of the clearest indicators that unmanned air power has entered the era of multi-domain operations. Another concept highlighted at SAHA EXPO 2026 is the kamikaze-class unmanned systems. The K2 kamikaze drone concept is evaluated as a one-way mission platform developed for low-cost but high-impact operational use. One of the most important features of these systems is their ability to be directed toward a target and then self-destruct at the end of the mission, providing high-precision strike capability. In modern warfare, such systems developed against asymmetric threats are becoming increasingly important. With the increasing use of unmanned systems, electronic warfare technologies are also evolving at the same pace. SAHA EXPO 2026 reveals that in defense industries, It is no longer only platforms that matter, but integration, speed, and digital warfare capability. This new structure, where land, air, and unmanned systems operate together, is shaping the warfare concepts of the future today. And the technologies displayed in Istanbul represent not only today's engineering vision, but also that of the future. At this point, all these systems showcased at SAHA EXPO 2026 are not merely metal, software, and engineering. Behind each platform lie months, even years of R&D work, laboratory testing, field trials, and numerous engineering decisions, from the armor structure of ALTAY to the autonomous mobility of Barkan, to the naval takeoff concept of TB3 and the strategic range of Typhoon. Each system is essentially a reflection of an engineering vision brought into the field. However, to truly understand the meaning of these technologies, it is not enough to only look at screens and technical specifications. Now we turn the microphone to the engineers who develop these systems and the experts who use these technologies in the field. What they will share is not just a product description, but an explanation of why these technologies were developed, what needs led to them, and how they will shape the future defense concept. And now, we move to the most important part of SAHA EXPO 2026, expert opinions and exclusive interviews from the field. So as we are currently in the SASAMA's stand, we would like to ask you a few questions. How does SASAMA's position itself within Turkey's growing defense industry today?
Okay. First of all, my name is Murat Yitim. I am responsible from Africa region actually, and Sarsılmaz is founded 1880, and more than 130 years we are working on defense industry, and still we are going on, and we think that we are so successful about that, and we are growing every day, step by step, and today we are the biggest supplier of Turkish Army. From small caliber pistols, as you see, up to 20, 25 and 30 millimeter Gatling gun and chain gun. Actually two of them I can say, because as you see this is the showcase. It's a big showcase actually for us and for all defense industry companies. And at the same time, it's a meeting point for our global partners. This is so important because it gives us really big opportunity to show our ability and capability to our customers.
Thank you for that. Now, the one final question. How strategic is the African market for your company, Sarsılmaz at large?
Yes. For Sarsılmaz, Africa region is so important because it's really big growing market. At the same time, we have many partners in there. And we are working on it so hard, and we are visiting many countries in Africa, and we believe that we are going to be successful in Africa, and we will have new partners there.
Öncelikle merhaba. Erkan Seçkin ben. ESSAF Teknoloji Yönetim Kurulu Başkanıyım. Türk Savunma Sanayi'nde kendi firmamız olarak, ESSAF Teknoloji olarak kısa bir süre içerisinde kurulmuş ve faaliyete geçmiş bir firmayız. Savunma sanayindeki branşımız, hareket alanımız hava mühimmatları üzerine 40'lık, 60'lık, 81, 82 milimetre hava mühimmatlarını yapan bir şirket kurduk. Nitelikli ve kaliteli ürün yapmak adına Türk savunma sanayine hizmet vermekten büyük mutluluk duyuyoruz. Bu vesileyle kendi mühendislerimizin üretmiş olduğu nitelikli ve kaliteli ürünlerimizi SAHA EXPO 2026'da da sergilemekten büyük mutluluk duyuyoruz. SAHA EXPO, Türk savunma sanayi firmalarının kendini dünya lansmanına sunabilmeleri için çok mükemmel bir ortam. Biz de ESSAF Teknoloji olarak bu fuarda yerimizi almaktan gayet mutluyuz. Biliyorsunuz Türk savunma sanayi firmaları ve kuruluşları son 20 yılda çok büyük mücadele, efor sarf ederek, kendini geliştirerek dünyada savunma sanayi sektöründe yer bulan şirketler arasında kendini gösteren kuruluşlarımız da var. Başta biliyorsunuz Baykar olmak üzere Türk savunma sanayinde, özellikle havacılık sektöründe dünyada sektöründe lider pozisyonuna gelmiş bir kuruluşumuz. Onun önderliğinde kurulan bu SAHA EXPO fuarında da biz ESAF teknoloji olarak yerli ve milli üretim adı altında nitelikli ve kaliteli ürünlerimizi bu fuarda sergiliyoruz. Biliyorsunuz ki SAHA EXPO 2026'nın katılımcı sayısı 1700 civarında katılımcıya sahip. 300'ü yabancı katılımcı olmak üzere yerli firma anlamında da katılımı çok yüksek bir firma. Dünyada sayılı savunma sanayi fuarları arasına girmiş ve kendini kabul ettirmiş. Bundan sonraki süreçlerde de daha fazla katılımcı, daha fazla rağbet gören bir fuar olacağına eminiz. İşte bahsetmiş olduğum gibi firmamız Ankara'da yerleşik bir firma. 3 ortakla kurulmuş bir firma. Ben şirketin yönetim kurulu başkanıyım. Ürünlerimizin az önce bahsettiğim gibi gelişmekte olan projelerimiz de var. Sadece Havan Grubu adı altında değil, Topçu Mühimmatları adı altında da yatırımlarımızı devam edip bütün projelerimizi ve teknolojik yatırımlarımızı ona göre planlayan ve hayata geçirmeye çalışan bir süreçteyiz. Çok tecrübe anlamında benim 15 yıla yakın savunma sanayi tecrübem var. Üretimden sorumlu ortağımın keza öyle üretim tecrübesi çok yüksek potansiyelde. Diğer ortağımız Ahmet Bey sektörde 35 yılını vermiş, çok tecrübeli ve duayen pozisyonda bir sanayici. Güzel bir birliktelikle bu firmayı kurmuş olduk. Türk savunma sanayinde yerli ürün üretmek adına da çok mutlu, heyecanlı ve gururluyuz. Bu yüzden sizlere de beni ifade etme şansı tanıdığınız için de çok teşekkür ediyorum.
You're welcome, sir, to AfroTürk TV. We're glad to have you here today. So I would like to understand what's the importance of, Cameroon being represented here today by the Ministry of Defense, and as an African country, why is it so important that Cameroon is represented at the SAHA EXPO 2026?
First, let me introduce myself. I'm Major General Ebaka Hippolyte. I'm the senior advisor, logistics advisor to our Minister of Defense. As I've just told you, the Minister of Defense was himself personally invited at this exposition. Unfortunately, he could not be here because of the preparation of our National Day, which is to be held on the 20th of May. So he asked me to represent him. Cameroon and Turkey has very, very good relations. And our president visited Turkey, and good relationship on many domains has been set between Turkey and my country. Okay, talking of defense domain, it's very important to come here since we know the capabilities of Turkish to manufacture equipment of very, very high level efficiency. That's why we are here. Cameroon is already conducting, and I'm the one to manage those projects, 3 main projects. When you visit, you have your objectives. I came for this visit with some objectives. You cannot visit everything. You will visit, to say, I visit by car, I'm visiting other companies that are a plan of my objectives. It is important because, in Africa, Nigeria, Cameroon, we have some, how should I say that, constraints, security constraints. You know what we are dealing. So it's important to come. Since this country is already an advanced country in terms of military productions, it's very important to come to Turkey.
Thank you so much for granting us this interview. We're grateful.
Thank you. Thank you for you to give me the opportunity to say something about the relationship between Turkey and Cameroon.
You're welcome again, sir, to AfroTürk TV. We're glad to have you here today. So what would you say is the importance of Enitke as a company being here today at the SAHA EXPO 2026?
Enitke Defense Company is a company that manufactures low-altitude unmanned aerial vehicles for defense. And the importance is that in our current time, the wars that happen around, that happen during this time, more and more smaller, more practical, faster, low-altitude unmanned aerial vehicles are used. You see this every day. You hear FPV, first-person view drones. You hear a lot of custom-made drones being used during conflicts. The platforms that we built are similar to that concept. We have drones that can easily be deployed in 15 minutes. We build it for intelligence, surveillance, and reconnaissance. And this is very useful for border protection, for rural area protection, counter-terrorism, border protection, and there are lots of use cases like this. You don't necessarily need a runway to use our drones. And for a lot of military organizations and security apparatus, this is a very rising concept.
Definitely. You talked about, what those drones can do, and you mentioned security, you mentioned counterterrorism, you mentioned also border control, which I think is very important for the African continent. So how does this apply to the African continent? And has there been, your works that you've carried out in African countries, and what are your future plans for this certain geography?
Okay. With regards to security and protection and defense, as you know, the drones themselves actually are sort of a revolution, because the recent conflicts show that the use of drones are so effective that you don't need a lot of expensive systems. They are not necessarily useful on the battlefield. For example, the use of tanks, the use of very expensive aircraft, fighter aircrafts, they are not necessary to win the war, to win the conflicts, to secure your borders. Now, this is a continuation of that. Now, you don't even necessarily need to use very expensive drones even themselves. The drones that are, multi-million-dollar drones that you need a runway to fly from, and they can do operations for tens of hours, 12 hours, 16 hours. In a lot of the cases, a lot of the missions can be carried out by smaller 25 to 50, 70 kilogram drones that can operate from 2 hours to 5 hours. This concept is being implemented by military organizations around the world, and Africa has a chance to implement this for their own security systems, for their own defense systems. And Africa can actually capture this and actually can more quickly adapt to this new reality, and it's its opportunity, because lots of other countries, they already have lots of fighter aircraft, but Africa has a chance to, in a lot of cases, Africa has a chance to build their military according to this new doctrine. So I think, we have a lot of good relations with many African countries, and we see this every day. They are interested in our UAVs for border protection, for counterterrorism efforts, and it makes sense because you don't need a runway, for example, for our UAVs. You can simply use a 10 meter by 10 meter area to take off from and carry out a mission of 2 hours or 3 hours and come back easily with 2 personnel. And that's and you can have this in many places, and that's a very easy operation. You don't need tens of people on the ground to carry out this operation, which is the case for a lot of other systems.
You're welcome, Mr. Ufuk, to AfroTürk TV. We're glad to have you here today.
Thank you. Welcome to Otokar stand. We are in SAHA 2026.
So we would like to, have you introduce this, the machineries that we can see here. And we'll also like you to, explain to us why this is so important that Otokar is here today at the SAHA Expo. And if there's anything, the plans for African countries and how it will benefit African countries.
Yeah, we have a good relationship with the African countries, and we are supporting with our military vehicles to the African countries, and the African countries actually currently use our vehicles very effectively. This is Cobra 2, or legendary vehicle. It's used for the more than 20 end user, and it's have a power pack in front of the vehicle, and it's 360 horsepower. And front line we have driver and the commander, and also second line we have two-person and the gunner. And there is a remote control weapon station in here, so the gunner can use inside of the vehicle under the protection, because the Cobra 2 has a 360-degree ballistic protection according to NATO standard, and the mine protection also. And behind the vehicle we can see, we can locate the 4 people. So total 9 person can travel and fight with the Cobra 2.
So this is the latest and the newest edition of this model.
Yes, we integrate the anti-drone system for the SAHA 2026, but we have the different variation of the Cobra 2, of course, ambulance or recovery or any specification coming from the client. It's we are designed our vehicle from the white paper, so it's not problem to change the design for us. And 100% IP rights belongs to Otokar. And we can continue with the ARMA 8x8. It's ARMA 8x8 platform. It's can swim. So we said that amphibious platform, and it can carry 11 person. 3 of them is our driver, commander, and the gunner, crew member, and we have 8 dismount. Up to 30 ton, this vehicle can swim. So it's the swimming speed around 9.5 km/h, and we range of the ARMA 8x8 more than 1,000 kilometers. All system of the Otokar, all land system of the Otokar also used to combat. So especially Cobra 2 is combat proven system. And we can continue to inside of the vehicle. I want to show you inside of the vehicle also, because it's we have a very large volume inside of the vehicle. We can carry 8 person because they will travel more than 1,000 kilometers, and they should be ready for the war and the fight. We said that water obstacle. When you try to travel from A point to B point, there can be swim, there can be river. So you need to cross the river. If you don't have such kind of bridge, you can swim and cross that obstacle. That is the mobility. So we can travel up to 105 km/h with this vehicle, with the 11 person. And as you see, the turret is unmanned. So all crew members sitting inside of the vehicle under protection also. The most important thing is protection of the crew member for us, because we can redesign, we can produce again the vehicles, but we cannot reproduce the people.
Yes, Excellency. Thank you very much for visit us. I am the chairman for the ICT investment of Turkey and ICT investment of defense. So we, behalf of my company and my countries, we need to welcome the Excellency, the Ministry of Defense of Ghana. So, and I want to ask him about the fair and what his idea and what he gets some information, and we visit with him many factory today. I want to ask about what he get about this fair information.
Well, I think that our visit to Turkey has been very successful. First, in Ankara, the visit we made to factories to see the production plants of ammunitions, because we are working together with DAFA and ICT to establish manufacturing lines in Accra. We are trying to develop our defense industry, and we find a worthy partner in ICT to do that. And generally, the SAHA 2026, this is my first time of attending a defense exhibition in Turkey, and I believe it's been very revealing. I've seen several technological development that Ghana has need for, and it's also at a time that our country is trying to retool the Ghana Armed Forces and get it on its feet to be able to have many capabilities to defend our country. And so it's been all good to see a lot of the things that are being manufactured here, especially in terms of aerospace. It's something that we have a need for, and we are very impressed what we have seen so far.
As we reach the end of our coverage of SAHA EXPO 2026, what remains is not only what we have seen inside the exhibition halls, but the broader message this event delivers to the world of defense and technology. SAHA EXPO once again stands as more than just an industry fair. It is a meeting point where innovation, engineering, and strategic vision come together under one roof. It is where ideas are transformed into platforms, and where concepts of future security are shaped through real engineering capability. Throughout this program, we have witnessed how rapidly defense technologies are evolving. The boundaries between traditional domains are fading, replaced by integrated systems that connect land, air, sea, and digital environments into a single operational structure. This transformation reflects a new era in which information, speed, and adaptability define strength as much as physical capability. Beyond the systems and technologies, what truly defines SAHA EXPO is the ecosystem behind it. Engineers, researchers, companies, and institutions coming together with a shared purpose to develop solutions that respond to today's challenges while anticipating tomorrow's needs. This collective effort highlights not only technological progress, but also long-term vision and strategic continuity. As global security dynamics continue to evolve, platforms like SAHA EXPO play an increasingly important role. In shaping cooperation, innovation, and industrial development, they serve as bridges between nations, industries, and ideas, contributing to a more interconnected and competitive global defense landscape. As we conclude this special coverage, one message becomes clear. The future of defense will be defined not only by individual systems, but by the ability to integrate, adapt, and innovate continuously. This is not just the end of an exhibition, it is a reflection of the beginning of a new technological era. Thank you for joining us.